Hi, I'm Will, and welcome back to Venture to Rome. Today, we're going to revisit our trailer, HICKS. So stay tuned, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we got a lot of work to do. Let's go. There it is.
Meet HICKS. That's the name we've given to this 1940s Bantam T3C trailer. My best buddy Chris and I bought it, restored it, flipped it, salvaged it, and are now starting over with it together. Today we are beginning to put the newest pieces that have arrived on HICKS, including a new hitch and a new bed rack. It's the beginning of a lot more work before HICKS is ready for the trail again. Let's get started.
So this summer when we flipped HICKS, unfortunately the trailer sustained some damage. So the things that we had to just start over on are, unfortunately, the axle. So we ordered a new axle. It's not here today, but that's on the way. We definitely are going to get a new hitch. We have one of those today that we'll talk about here in a second. The tongue box was totally destroyed. The bed rack was totally destroyed, and the MOLLE panel connectors were totally destroyed. So those are the things that we have to redo. So today we're going to get started on that. We're going to start with the hitch.
So we have kind of a no-name brand articulating hitch. So it's an actual off-road hitch, and we found it on eBay. So it's something that looked like a really good alternative. The problem with like a lot of the other ones that we looked at, they were just really expensive. But at the same time, we obviously didn't want to go with like a super cheap version 2. So this kind of fills the gap in between. So this articulates up and down supposedly, and then side to side. Man, that is like really beefy. So anyway, this guy supposedly pops in here, and this is the first time we're doing this, so do a little experiment and just kind of see how it goes. I don't know, man.
It's not going very well.
It's not going very well at all. So it looks like to connect the coupler to the, I don't know what you call this. It looks kind of like a stinger.
Pin of some sort.
Yeah, pin.
Stinger. I like
Stinger,
that.
yeah. So pop it on. Got to press this. It releases this really heavy duty slide. And it doesn't move. So it looks like you got to press this again. Press the slide, and then it comes out. So that's pretty simple and pretty easy.
Okay, so Chris, we gotta figure out if this thing can be mounted on the tongue here.
Well, looks like we got a little bit of an issue because we haven't measured the holes between, or the distance between these two holes.
Yeah.
So you can see, like, just kind of looking down through the mounting holes, you can actually see the actual trailer tongue here, and it's just a little bit too narrow. If it was, I don't know, if these holes were spaced out maybe another inch, then it wouldn't be an issue.
So maybe we need some kind of mounting plate. Yeah. Well, the good news is we got the hitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a lock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
It's really close to like the standard lock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't put it on right now. We've got to do something else. So okay, so let's move on to plan B. Okay, so plan A we're scrapping. We're moving to plan B. Luckily, we have lots of work to do on HICKS. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at installing the new bed rack. The new bed rack is almost exactly the same as the old bed rack. It's just a little bit better. So let's take a look at it.
If you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, this looks very familiar, you're spot on. Last spring, Chris and I basically assembled the same rack, but the old one didn't have all the needed hardware, so we were happy when we discovered this rack was better quality all around, and it came with the bolts and nuts we needed, even if I couldn't get them in the right place on my first try. It felt like we were repeating ourselves, but in a good way. We loosely assembled the rack and clamped it to the side of HICKS. We wanted the rack to be centered, so we just measured each end to make sure the overhangs matched, tightened the crossbars down, and started prepping to set the distance between the two rack pieces.
So now we can do a couple of things, kind of get the spacing for the MOLLE panels. We still need to get the angle iron to mount the MOLLE panels too, but we can still kind of get the rack spaced and bolted to the actual trailer. So that would be kind of a win. The other thing is this one comes with a rubber gasket that goes along the top, which would be really nice. So when you put your rooftop tent on there, it'll create, a little bit of a barrier. So you won't have aluminum on aluminum causing some, rubbing and wearing off the finish on the trailer. And also, I don't know, just kind of cushion it a little bit. So those are the couple of things I think we can do next.
Once we measured 1,000,000 times and set the distance between the two, we adjusted everything as needed before tightening it down. What I still like about this style of rack is that you don't have to drill or weld anything. It comes with clamps that secure it to the side of the bed. And they hold. When we flipped Hicks, the rack bent and cracked but didn't come off the bed.
That's cinched.
All we had to do now was put the rubber gasket in on top, cut off the excess material, and be one step closer to bringing Hicks back to the trail.
Okay, the rack is on there. Pretty happy with the way that's sticking on. This rack's pretty great. It's aluminum like the last one. I do like that it's black. The black actually looks a little bit better, I think. And so we're gonna call this good for today and keep working on what's next. I think we're gonna do Molly panels next, get those back on, and we'll just keep working through and putting this baby back together. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Tune in next time as we install the new axle, weld on the mounting plate for the hitch, and start with the tongue box install.
This is an unboxing video, so I feel like we start out with like, hey guys.
Hey guys.
So today we got a lock and roll hitch.